Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Fulham, although I should really call it Conquering the World with Fulham, because that's kind of what it feels like we've been doing this month. Although, there is still some tough times ahead, I'd probably have to say. Now, I'm going to start looking... Well, no, let's just start with where we were. Our first game of the month was at home to Huddersfield Town, and I had this one down as a massive home banker. We had to win. I didn't want to be involved in one of those games that you just scrape through, basically. And frankly, when you look at the stats for this game, we probably should have had more than 3 goals. But I'll take it. Fortunis got us a goal. Tom Smith's own goal, which was hilarious. Trippier's cross just went straight enough of his arse, which was fantastic. And then quickly followed up with a belting goal from Franco Zulicolini, who looked like he was going to make a pass, and then just thumped it in off the crossbar from 40, or not 40 yards, but like 30 yards out. One of those lovely ones that just clips the crossbar on the way in. It just makes it so much better. Which started off the month pretty much perfectly with us a lovely little 3-0 win. Now, I wasn't sure what game to show as the highlighted one for this episode, but I'm pretty certain it's going to be this one against Swansea. Now, because it's got the most goals, frankly. There wasn't a huge number of important games in this month, and I figured you'd want to go for the one with the most goals. I don't know how this didn't have more goals for us, or how they got as many as they did. So I will see you guys in the highlights so we can talk through it a bit more there. Now, if you remember the Swansea game from last season, you'll remember, I mean, look at this, the goalmouth scramble, but Paco Alcácer manages to score us a goal, and that's good. He's doing some stand-in work because Mitroglu's just knackered. So it's good to see him getting some game time. I'm hoping he can get some more this year. We battered Swansea at this point, and they somehow managed to pop up and get us a goal here. It was such one, so annoying. Charlie Austin with the goal, which made it 1-1, even though we'd had about 15 shots at this point, and a lot of shots on target. That was Swansea's first shot of any sort in the entire game. This game should have been put to bed. Thankfully, Fortunis' cross in to Paco Alcácer, who scored his second of the game. He can look like he'd rescued us here. Then, not long after that, we were able to, in theory, put the game to bed. Like this, I don't know how this game finished with the scoreline it did. This should have been, well, as you can see on the thing, 7-2 maybe, 6-1, 5-0. It was not a 3-2 kind of game. It was the sort of game that we absolutely dominated them, and I was so pissed when... I was actually quite annoyed, even though we won the game, because of how poor our finishing was at times. 7 clear-cut chances and only scoring 3 of them. That very nearly could have lost us the game. Great little ball there from Tunnicliffe, just knocking it through to Odegaard, who was able to score yet another goal, and he's having a good season as well. He kind of flits in and out a little bit now that he's playing over on the left-hand side, but I still think he's quality. He and Kaja Niklic, when they can sort of interchange with each other, are great on that side. It's nice having options. Now, I thought we were about to score ourselves a 4th goal. Tunnicliffe's effort, I say effort, I mean, he doesn't score many with the head there, was saved. He's not brilliant in the air. But then just a long ball down from Swansea. We lose out in our own midfield area, and then they just pass it through us like a knife through butter. And it's annoying when you see those sort of balls where we just suddenly just seem to switch off. And look, I mean, who was marking Dyer here? We should never have won this game 3-2. It should have been, I don't know, well, 7-2 I'd have taken. But, 4 or 5-2, perhaps. 4 or 5-1. That's the sort of scoreline that would be reasonable for it. But we didn't get it. But we did, however, get the 3 points, and that's really what mattered. Now, we had a tough one. And it was tougher than I expected. Pardon me. Against Celtic, they actually really had a go at us. They really, really did. And when Chris Commons put them up front, you can imagine what it would have been like in Celtic Park. I genuinely didn't think we were going to get anything out of the game, and I thought that was about to be the start of our embarrassment, and our away form in the league, and just general bad away form at times, was going to start carrying over here. Thankfully, Martin Odegaard again stepped up to be the hero for us, and managed to rescue us a point. But it certainly does put things into perspective, as we now have to play Barcelona away and Shakhtar at home. It's a bit of a sticky situation to be in. And I will, of course... In fact, I'm going to show you the Champions League group now. So we are still top, but it is damn tight in there. Shakhtar managed to get a 0-0 draw with Barca, which in a way has kind of helped us, because it means they both dropped points, I guess. But I would have rather Barca just won to take points away from Shakhtar. But I don't know. We are top at the moment, but I think the toughest games are yet to come. Barca away, that's a nailed-on defeat. And if Shakhtar win against Celtic in their game, and their game is at home against Celtic, it stands to reason that we're going to be in some serious trouble, because that would mean that they're both well ahead of us, and we'd have to beat Shakhtar on that final day to make sure that we snuck into second place, basically. That's the plan, anyway, for the Champions League at the moment. Now, looking at top scorers, I mean, look at this. Vladimir Divalishvili, who I'm guessing is Georgian. Yeah. Has managed to score 8 goals so far in this tournament for Copenhagen. I'm guessing that's because it counts the goals from the earlier stages, and Copenhagen must have battered some smaller clubs to get into this. So I'm guessing that's where those goals have come from, because they've not exactly been overperforming in the Champions League so far, but they have actually got 3 draws, so fair play to them for that. Anyway, let's go back and talk about the final 2 league fixtures of the month. Now, we had Wolves at home, and Wolves are not having a good season. Well, they're doing all right when we're talking about. They are up and not looking like they're going to get relegated, so they're having a pretty decent season. I don't know what I was talking about. And this day, well, you remember what happened in our last league game against Swansea? Paco Alcácer got himself 2. Well, today, he was even better than that, and he's managed to name himself a hat-trick. So that's 5 in 2 now for Alcácer, and I think he's going to be getting some serious game time for us, because he just looks to have that finishing touch, which sometimes Mitroglou has been missing this season. So maybe he could start playing some of the league games. Mitroglou's been, he's been alright in Europe. He got himself that brace against Barcelona, so perhaps we could start interchanging, but we probably could do with a third half-decent striker at the club, because the next one after that is is Berisha or a youngster like Scott Carter, so we really do need to potentially look into that maybe in January. I don't know, it depends on how far we're going in the Cups. Plus, we don't exactly have a shitload of money to deal with, and I'm not really sure how else I can earn any more money from the board, unfortunately. I don't really think we can get much out of it. I might have to talk to the chairman in January and see if I can get a little bit more transfer money, because if I can, then we can maybe bring in another striker just to ease those woes that we might have in case one of those 2 gets injured, God forbid. Now, finally, we had Chelsea. And we definitely didn't deserve to win this game or even draw. But we held out until the 85th minute, and then Fabregas put it past us, and then we got a penalty in the 93rd minute. Julesgaard scored it. I thought, my God, we're going to keep our unbeaten record in the league. And then somehow, directly from the kickoff, they went straight down the other end, and Eden Hazard managed to score. Oh, it was annoying. I mean, they deserved it, but I really hoped that we could nick something. And when we scored that penalty, I thought there's no way we're not going to nick something here, but we didn't in the end. And it's kind of put us down a little bit. We are still in the 3rd in the league, but as you can see, teams around us have games in hand, and we could drop down, in theory, as far as 5th. But at the moment, that top 5 seems to be sort of breaking away from everyone else at the moment. We are a part of that, which is kind of good to see. And at the bottom, well, it's tight as a duck's arsehole. Look at that. A win for bottom club brings them up to 12th. There is 2 points separating 12th placed Hull and bottom placed Crystal Palace. That is mental. So in fact, Wolves, Huddersfield and Nottingham Forest are right down there in the relegation zone, in the relegation battle at the moment, albeit not actually in it, although Wolves and Huddersfield's goal differences mean that the simplest slip-up could easily put them back right down in there. Now, looking at average ratings, you'll see that Alcácer is actually the 3rd best rated player in the Premier League at the moment, and is the 4th top scorer now, with that little smash and grab of 5 goals that he scored in his last 2 games. However, Aguero has netted 12 times for Manchester City in just 9 games. I know he's probably not even played all 9 games, and it's crazy stuff. He looks like an absolute beast this season, as he has been in the past, but especially this season. Now, we're going to go on and look at the stats. I feel like I'm going to sneeze in a minute, so if I do, I apologise. Yep, see, that's happened. That's happened all over my microphone. I need to buy a pop guard, or a sneeze guard in this case, like those things they have behind deli counters to stop people sneezing on the donuts. Yeah, those. I need one of those. Oh, made me think about donuts now. Anyway. Looking at the stats, that was massively off topic. Top appearance maker is still tied between 4 different players, which is good to see. Lots of people with some consistency, although Fortunis is probably going to lose that soon when he needs a rest. Top goal scorer for us is Paco Alcácer. He started 5 and he's scored 5. 2 substitute appearances. What a player he's been for us. We have also received goals from Fortunis and Mitroglou. Lots of players on 3 with Odegaard, Kacaniklic, Vilhena. It's a good batch of goals. Top assister for us? Well, that's now Vilhena with 5. Not bad. Kacaniklic with 4, Fortunis, but you'll notice that Julesgaard still only has 2. I'm surprised. I think this is because Fortunius is actually better at taking corners, so I've changed it so that he's now taking the corners. So I'm hoping he'll get plenty of assists this season too, to try and add to that, because he is a damn good corner taker. I probably shouldn't have taken Yulsgaard off, but we've still been scoring plenty of goals from corners this year, so it's obviously not had too much of an effect. If anything, it's probably been a positive one. But Vilhena is such a creative force in that midfield. I think he's fantastic. Most player of the matches? Well, that's Alcácer and Mitroglou. It's good to see strikers winning these awards for once. You know, normally it's people like Draga and Yulsgaard that have been winning those awards. Well, not this year. Pass rating, well, obviously Stekelenburg because we play out from the back, but Zuccolini now with an 84% pass rating. That's better. That's more like what we want to see. Red cards? Nope. Yellow cards, Zuccolini and Yulsgaard, surprisingly. Well, not surprisingly. Best player? Paco Alcácer. No surprise there. Kaci Nikolic has also done well, but look, Ryan Tunnicliffe now with 10 appearances is the third best player on the team now. He's putting in an absolute shift there. He's making a lot of tackles, doing some decent amount of dribbling as well. Pass rate, he's having a good year. I'm very, very impressed with what Ryan Tunnicliffe has done for us this year, frankly, and long may it continue. Now, next month is probably going to be quite a busy one because we finish up our Champions League group, so you'll get to see whether we've managed to qualify. If we can sneak into that second, I don't think if we did, no, because it's literally the last day of the month, so we won't know who we're playing if we do get through, but let's just hope we can do. Let's see. Celtic at home, I'd say a win. We need to win that. Barcelona away, that's probably a loss guaranteed, probably. Well, it must be. But you never know. Shakhtar at home, I'd like to think we can win that. I think with those fixtures, we can probably sneak into second place, and that's the main thing here. In the league, we've got Villa, Sunderland, and Spurs. I'd like to think that we can win all three of those, because Spurs at home. I'd like to think. I'd like to see 9 points from those games and 6 in the Champions League. That is the aim, but we'll just have to see how things go. Anyway, if you've been enjoying this series, please hit that big old like button, and if you'd like it even more than that, there's a great big thing in the top right hand corner of the screen, around about here. It should just flash when you hover over it, and I think that allows you to subscribe from within the video, because Inception is where it's at now. So, anyway, I will see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.